Welcome to Roxtalks. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and this is the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. And today, you're stuck with me. We're going to be talking about community. And mainly, if you don't have a community or if you don't feel like you have a thing, how you can create one out of what seems like nothing. We'll dive in. It'll make sense in a sense. It makes sense in a second. There we go. But first, I just want to shout out to my good friends at my good friend Chris at Smart Hash, because Smart Hash has been such a wonderful, wonderful program, not only for myself, but for my members in my community as they try and really figure out the thing that is hashtags. Hashtags are important, you need them, but they can be confusing and they're hard to manage. And I don't know how Chris did it, but with one app, he found a way to not only make it manageable, but also scalable and measurable in a way that will help you grow your business, help you grow your presence on Instagram and beyond. And his customer service is the best. If you'd like to know more about Smart Hash, I invite you to go to roxtalkspodcast.com. All right, so we're rolling into community, and I think community is something. It's interesting. As a network marketer, one of the things that you're often told when you're considering whether you should start with a company is the community, the camaraderie, the girlfriends, that you're going to have this, you're going to have your upline, and it's going to be like so fantastic. But what happens when you get there and it's not what it's cracked up to be? Maybe your upline isn't what you thought she was going to be. She's not what you thought. Whatever intent, whatever expectation you had in your head, it's not living up to it. Perhaps maybe even the community is one that you don't jive with. Maybe their tactics or ways of recruiting is something that makes you feel slimy and ugh, and you just don't want to be a part of it. What do you do then? Well, a lot of people just stop doing. Period. Right? They do nothing, and that's not. Do I look like someone who wants to do nothing? Absolutely not. Um, it's an opportunity for you to take responsibility for your business, to be that CEO and do something about it. So what do you do? Well, in my opinion, in my experience, you create it. If you don't have the community, find it or create it out of nothing. I know that sounds wild to you, but that's exactly what in some ways I did. And it's so apropos that this is going on right now because I realized, being in quarantine, I think this is day like 56. I lost count. I've got a counter somewhere, but um, you forget what you were doing a year ago this time. So I'm recording this at May 10th. And it dawned on me as I was looking back at things that right about this time was when um I was creating my own thing. When I realized that some of my expectations for what I wanted in network marketing weren't working for me. And honestly, this isn't a year ago is not when I realized it. It's when I started to do something about it. I'd been, and again, I want to take responsibility for this. So I'm going to use these words, but then I'm going to qualify them. I had been let down in multiple ways with my experience in network marketing. Now that I've said that, I'm going to take responsibility for that and say my expectations weren't what they were cracked up to be. My expectations weren't, and I think, and not to go into it because I don't want to go there, not today at least. But my expectations were such, and that I was only destined for disappointment, to be honest with you. Um, I expected things from people and I expected community to happen, and I found myself pouring into a community but not getting all that I was hoping to get back from it. And again, that's my expectations I put on things. So after probably like different situations over a year, 2 years to be honest. Wow. Or really like 2 years of just hurt and disappointment and all the things that can happen. Let's be real, when you're in a group of women, I'm going to say it, it can be the best thing in the world or it can also be the worst. And it was getting to be the worst. And so for me, I needed to I needed to find my way. I needed to create that community that I so was craving. I needed to find a place that would reward me for my hard work, in a way that wasn't, but and reward others in a sense where we're all lifting each other up, we're all rooting for each other, and we all want to grow. And I needed to find a place where it was okay for me to say, listen, I'm looking at this a different way. And the way that's being taught doesn't make sense. Like I did the coachable thing and I mean, it had great success, but the success didn't come from being the coachable, it was from using my own brain. All right, so let me just go through that. So it got to a point where I'm like, okay, if you love this space, you love network marketers, you love so many people you've met in this and the community. How can you create that community for people who may be feeling like you, Roxanne, who may be feeling lost, who may be feeling betrayed in some ways, who may be feeling whatever it may be, whatever the thing may be? How can I create this for the people who just feel like, one of these things does not look like the other and it's me, whatever way that may be. And that is when I first started, really starting with a and I'll laugh and one day I'll tell you about this or maybe today, I decided to create a course, to help network marketers grow their business on Instagram. It's called the Kickstart Instagram course. And the point of it was to help because I saw a lot of things. I'm like, this doesn't work. It's not working. It's not how you do Instagram. You've heard me say the mistake people make on Instagram is treating it like Facebook. And so I wanted to help people out with that. And so that's what I did. I created it. And what's really interesting is the only person that bought it was my mom. Sweet mom. I remember getting an email going, "You've sold the course." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited." And it was my mom. I was like, I called her my mom, really? But that's what my moms do, right? And actually, I'm recording this on Mother's Day, so I think it's perfect. But shout out to my mom. Um, but through that and realizing that people while network marketers need a lot of help on Instagram, they don't think they do because they think that what they're doing on Facebook was working anyway, even though it's not working as much anymore. And they just bring that right over. But where people did feel like they needed help was with Instagram stories. Now, let me pause that and let you know. Also, during this time, I was like, I really want to have a membership. I want to create a membership that helps network marketers. I knew that's what I wanted to do. Part of it was like I wanted to create a family of people that I could pour into and help and like they didn't have to think anything of it because you're not benefiting from me being you're not my downline. I just want you to get better at this and I want the industry to get better and I want to be the catalyst for that because you cannot complain about what's not going well and not be part of the solution. I learned that in 7th grade. Thank you, Mr. Bernal, choir teacher. And so I said, I want to start a membership. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I really want to do this and be able to pour in regularly and do my thing. Understand, I've been doing trainings and whatnot for people and helping people one on one, just like organically, just because for years, like since I started network marketing. But I was like, I want to make this more of an official thing and help not only people in my network marketing company, but others as well too. And so, I made that my focus, and I said, "You know what? Network marketing business I'm in, thank you, but you're not my focus anymore. I'm gonna focus on this." And through realizing that people didn't find they needed Instagram help, but they needed story help, that is where I first birthed the 5-day Instagram Stories challenge, which is almost a year old, and by the time you listen to this, it may actually be a year old. And through that, honestly, I still didn't know what the membership was going to be like. I had 100 people do that very first challenge, and through listening to them, I realized, "Aha, this is what I'm going to create. I'm gonna create a membership." People are saying they need help with stories, where I give storyboards every day to them so that they don't have to think about what they're gonna create on their stories. It's been fantastic. It's grown in spades, and what's really awesome about it is not the numbers. I mean, the numbers are awesome, don't get me the people who are in the membership, but what I love so much is the amount of camaraderie. I mean, we have something called Workshop Wednesdays we've been doing every Wednesday since, the quarantini time started. Quarantining is a drink, Roxanne. I know, but it sounds better than quarantine. And it's been fantastic to see just the way that my members, that this community that I'm part of, has really poured into each other, and they love hanging out with each other. It's the best thing ever. And they also have, I mean, they interact in so many different ways. And so I tell you this because I'm looking back, being that it's a year, I'm like, wow, if you can't find, if you feel like your expectations from your network marketing company have been decimated, or they've got holes in it, whatever. I don't want decimate is a strong word, but because you can't find that community you were hoping for, create yours. Or I guess come over to social stories, because I will take you, I will have you, I would love for you to be part of it and empower you. My hope is that you see yourself as a CEO and not a glorified salesperson. And that's really hard to do, because it's not what you're taught. But what I love about this community is you're taught that, and you're rewarded for just like thinking differently and figuring out what works for you. Now, here's the real thing though, interesting about the community, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of rebranding that goes on in the next month or so as we hit off. Uh, uh, I've got plans for a anniversary celebration, and then a ta-da, amping things up and doing another launch of the membership. But what I will tell you is this: it started as storyboards, and that's all people got, and like a training on things once a month. Now it has grown into so much, and what I love is listening to my community and meeting them where they're at, but knowing where they need to go, knowing what their issues are, what they wanted to grow on, and also knowing what they thought the problem was, but really knowing what the solution was, or they thought the solution was, but really giving them the big solution has been has been my mission. And so while yes, they came in for storyboards, I realized, I was looking at my website now, I'm like, it is like short-sighted for me to tell someone, hey, join social stories and you're gonna get storyboards. You are gonna get storyboards. That is there. That is a real thing. Yes. And you're gonna learn Instagram stories and delve into and deepen that. But the truth of the matter is, what you're really gonna learn, I keep saying, is how to be a CEO and not a glorified salesperson. What the heck does that mean? Well, that means you're going to learn the fundamentals of an online business. I teach you how to have an online business directly for network marketers, directly for MLMers, directly for direct salespeople. So while you may have looked at, or there's like online email, there's online marketing things going on in the world, you're like that's just too, like they're talking about things that doesn't apply. I take it and I apply it directly to you, to network marketers. Will it make you think outside the box? Absolutely. Will it empower you? Absolutely. Will you grow? Absolutely. And what I love is we've taken time in the community lately to just talk about and like look back and go, what have you learned? Even in the last 50 some days of quarantine, because you better believe that that has just ramped up my desire to, like, all right, we have this time. Let's fast track what I was going to be teaching you over the course of 6 months. You're getting right now. You're getting it in a deep dive. But what I love is they're looking back and going, "Wow!" In the short time I've been in the community, and some have been in the community for a few months, some were there from the beginning. They have learned so much, and the community meets them where they're at. I'm a firm believer. You hear me say it every episode, that you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. So in the community, I'm teach every single level and every single step of what I call the Instagram sales journey. That means that there are some people who are like on step 7, and there's some people that are on step 1, but I reward and I celebrate, and we reward and celebrate all of those equally, because that, wherever you're on that journey, is so powerful and so important. And so I really encourage people not to feel like you're behind. If you hear someone talking about lead gens and emails and you're like, I'm trying to figure out the foundation of setting up my Instagram. Awesome. Those are all fantastic. And every month I offer something for everyone at every step. Plus, of course, all the on-demand training that you can get as well too. But it's, I'm looking for, wow, it has grown into so much, that so much value people are getting. I was doing a Facebook Live, going through this, just whomever was listening on, like, I want you guys think that maybe during the quarantine you haven't done much, but I want you to look back. March 17th is when I started quarantining, also my birthday. So what have you achieved in that period of time? And one of the people who was on live, Mary, shout out to Mary, she was at first, she was like, "Well, I don't know if I've achieved much." And I'm like, "Well, you just gave me a list of all the things you've achieved. Like, that's amazing." I asked her, I said, "How much money, if someone said to you on March 17th, hey, in the next 54 days, you are going to learn," and she's doing regular Facebook Live videos now. She was working on her lead generator. She was, gosh, I can't even, there were like 6 or 7 things that she had done, working on her emails. She was, what else? Beefing up her Instagram stories, all those things. And I said, "How much would you pay for that?" And she said, "Thousands." I said, "If you pay for thousands," like she's like, "I'd pay thousands for what I've done in the last 54 days." And I loved that, because sometimes we have to look back on how far we've come to see the value of what we're actually getting. And I love that her being in this community, she's gotten that much value, thousands of dollars of value in 54 days. Makes me so happy. No, she's not spending thousands, of course not, but she's getting that value, and that, of course, is my goal, is to bring that into the community, so that in the community, you're not just getting camaraderie from people who are like, "I'm right there with you. I love it." Like, there was a day when I stopped being like, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd know I'd have like the post I was going out in the private Facebook group for the members, and I go wake up in the morning and there were like there all of a sudden now there's like 3 or 4 other posts from other people. So freaking exciting when that first happened, because it was like the community is a breathing thing on its own. It's living on its own. That makes me so happy that it has grown into that, and it's so fantastic. And my hope for the next year, like I said, as we're going into the year 1 or year 2 is about to start, is that it just continues to grow. And it's that place, that beacon for people with whatever network marketing company you're in, a safe space to get growth, to get actual online network marketing business tools and fundamentals, and to also have people who are meeting where you're at and cheering you on in different ways. So my message to you is really this: if you don't have a community, you could keep knocking on the door trying to find that in your network marketing company. I tried that, tried it. And while I found great friends and um, great sideline sisters, and even a great community of women that where we kept getting these trips, I had to find those things and find it elsewhere, because I realized it wasn't going to be in that pod you're automatically put into, right? With It doesn't always happen that way, and that's okay. But if you're looking for a place where like I benefit in no way from what you decide to do with your network marketing business, I don't benefit directly from it. And I love that, because I can give you the hard truth or tell you that's cockamamie. Why would you do that? um, I would encourage you to join Social Stories. I'd encourage you to be part of this community. Take a look at what's going on, because there's some powerful things going on. And it really is a force of change for good in the network marketing industry. And if you'd like to be part of that force for change, if you would like to be in a place that empowers you as a woman to really be a CEO of your business and to grow it and to stand in that strength and that power wherever you're at in like, I could care less whether you're the top of the company, in the middle, or at the bottom. I don't care what level you're at, because I know that in you is a CEO, and my goal is to pull that out of you and to let you see it, and just feel that power and use your CEO power to help others. I'd love for you to join or to check it out. And I didn't even know we're going here with this, but this is sometimes you just talk on a podcast and you go somewhere. It's a message that someone needs to hear. So what I'll do is, on the podcast page, there'll be a link for Social Stories for this specific episode, and I'll also put it on the main page, Roxtalks podcast. This actually is a great so really this rolls into where we are right now. I don't need to give you behind the scenes, because I've kind of talked about that in this episode, but I do want to go ahead, and it kind of rolls in mindset as well too, in the sense of your mindset moment really is this. The reality is, if you are not feeling that, I- for lack of a better word, sorority feel, you're not feeling the love in your network marketing company, but you love what you're doing, you just don't feel that support, find a place where you can get it. find a place. It's okay that you're not feeling it there. It just means that you need to find a place where you can get it and you can meet people who are all about that for you. Okay. Don't stew and sit there and be like, oh, because that's just going to bring you down and others around you. Find the solution. And maybe social stories is that for you. And if it is, that's amazing. Can't wait to see you. Your tech tip for this week. What I want and I encourage you to do when it comes to technology, I've said this before, but y'all, I'm hearing it a lot lately, and I'm like, no, we've got to stop doing that. Please stop saying that you're bad at technology because you're only bad at it because you say you're bad at it, and it's no excuse. We are grown women. We can be great at technology. Yes, we can. We really can. So if you feel like you're not good at technology, what I want you to do is really go, actually, not true. I am good at technology. I might have some challenges in X area. What is that area? If it's like Excel spreadsheets, then let's get you some help on getting your Excel spreadsheets right. If it's like I have a hard time making images and whatnot, well, then you need to go talk to Kate Danielle and get some Canva help. What is it? And I actually am going to encourage you to email me and let me know, Roxanne at roxannewilson.com. I want to know, what is this thing that you think you're so bad at technology about? What is it? Email me or DM me wherever. And I want to help you find a place to get that tech thing right, because I'm tired of women saying they're bad at technology. That is not life-giving to ourselves or any other generation. So I can't complain about it without being part of the solution. We just talked about that. And so my solution is email me. I will find you help in whatever tech area it is. Okay. A great example of that is that we're in the midst of the 30-day email challenge, and finding a good email system for y'all has been a barracuda. I don't love the chimp, but I found one, Flowdesk. It's phenomenal, and part of finding one was not only making sure that I could get you guys that discount so that you get 50% off. Which, if you need that, just go to really, the code is Roxtalks to put in there to get 50% off forever. But you can also, I'll put the link. Got to remind myself that link is also going to be on the website. This episode. But I wanted to make it even easier for you all. And so I said, okay, some people feel like they have issues of like, it's a new program. What do I do? Get it. I'm bad at technology, Roxanne. I don't like the chip. Can't figure it out, but I don't want to switch because I'm bad at technology. So what did I do? Be part of the solution. I created tutorials for you for Flowdesk. Literally will walk you through how to do every step, and I'm adding new ones, y'all, every week. So if you need, I'll put the link on that as well. I'll put the link to that as well too. So you have no excuse not to use a great email system. Um, did I make tutorials for the chimp? No, because I cannot understand the chimp. I never could. But I've made them for you there, found one for you that is economical and is fabulous. So if you were working on emails, if you're using the Mimi or the chimp or whomever, or Constant, all of them, and you're like, I don't know, then I encourage you I will put the link for Flowdesk for my Flowdesk tutorials, and you can just watch and see. It'll give you a nice back office, and you can see how it's done and literally see step by step. I'll tell you, and I need to put these testimonials on the page. Talking to myself now. I'll tell you that a lot of my community who's switched over, like Roxanne, those tutorials are gold. They're everything. Awesome. Because now they're doing it themselves, and I showed you how to do it. Now you can literally watch the video and set up your flow desk together as one. All right, that's all I have for you today. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being part of this community. By the way, you're part of the community because you listen or watch the podcast, just so you know. So there's that. You are not ahead, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. And I'm honored and so ecstatic that you're here with me today and you're here with me on this journey, and I get to be here with you on this journey. If you have something you'd like me to talk about, whatever it may be, please email me, Roxanne at roxannewilson.com, so we can make it a subject. I'm here to serve you on the podcast, or I can give you the information you need behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Share this episode with someone you know who needs to hear it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.